What up? Oh, I don't know what's happening, but I'm back with a reaction to the PlayStation Portal review. Everything you need to know by the one and only amazing content creator, SpawnPoint. Shout out to SpawnPoint. Go show them support. I haven't gotten one of these PlayStation Portals in the mail yet. PlayStation? I'm gonna email you. Yeah, so I'm curious to know what all the hubbub is about. So we're going to watch this video, and then I'm gonna order myself an acai bowl. Acai boy. Okay, enough. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and action.
Hello everyone, it's SpawnPoint, and today we are getting hands-on with
hell.
the brand new PlayStation Portal for the PS5. We're going to get it unboxed, set it up, and talk about what this device actually does.
Yo, buddy's
why you'd
video
want
is
one,
hella
and
loud. What the
issues and
hell?
limitations are. So if you were thinking about picking one of these up for yourself, or maybe for somebody else, hopefully today's video will help you out. I also wanted to say a massive thank you to PlayStation for gifting me this ahead of launch. But as always, all opinions are 100% my own.
PlayStation, why you leave me hanging?
Right, let's get this opened up and see what we get inside. So inside the outer sleeve, we have this grey cardboard box with the PlayStation logo on the top, and these little PlayStation symbols on one end.
Okay.
And if we take this off, we have the portal
Maybe I'll play
itself
my
underneath.
background music.
But if you flip this top cover over, you'll actually find there is a USB-C charging cable inside, which of course we will need later for charging it. And that really is all we get inside the box. So we get the portal, a USB-C charging cable, and the manual. So here it is, and on first impressions, this looks and feels
It looks
really
kinda cool.
nice. You can see the overall design is very similar to what we've seen before with the other PS5 accessories. But holding it now, this feels premium and a lot more weighty than I was expecting. So we've got an 8-inch screen in the middle, which we will take a look at in a minute. Then we have the controllers on either side, which is definitely one of the biggest selling points of this system.
Right.
I also like the way that it flows and how the screen is mounted. It's also thin, but not super thin that you'd be worried about breaking it. I think this works really well. As for the buttons, well, we've got the usual ones you would expect to see on either side, including the D-pad and the share button on the left, and the icons and the menu button on the right. They've also put the PlayStation home button and the mute button near the top. Then if we flip this
Do they have a share button on there?
R1 and 2 triggers across the top, which I actually think are very slightly smaller than the normal controller ones. But these do have the same adaptive triggers as the normal controller. And the same goes for the thumbsticks. These are definitely smaller than the normal DualSense controller, but not quite as small as the Sense controllers found on the PSVR 2.
Okay.
In fact, if I compare this now to the normal DualSense controller, you'll see how similar this is.
DualSense.
Now there's also an LED strip either side of the screen which lights up in the same way as the normal PS5 controller does, so that's pretty cool.
Listen.
And you can actually adjust the brightness of this in the settings or turn it off completely.
Okay.
Then across the top there are 2 speakers, the volume control buttons, the power button and a link button. This is what's needed to connect it to a compatible headset. And then underneath there's a USB-C port for charging it and a 3.5mm headphone jack for your wired headphones. Honestly though, from a design point of view, I actually really like this. I can't see any reason you'd need or want it to look any different.
He's shooting
it's
this on an
comfortable to
iPhone?
hold, has a nice size screen, and looks like a PlayStation device. Now when it comes to setting this up for the first time, it's pretty straightforward. The on-screen prompts show you exactly what you need to do. You just power it on, choose your Wi-Fi network, agree to the terms, and download the latest software update.
Dang, he just exposed his whole goddamn apartment complex. All them Wi-Fi joints?
Took me around 15 minutes to do this. Then you'll need to log into your PlayStation account, and the easiest way to do this is using the QR code, which will automatically sign you in on the PlayStation app.
Okay.
Once you're in, you need to select your PS5 to register it. Now I've got 2, so I've selected the PS5 at my desk. And that's it. Within 15 to 20 minutes it's set up and we're good to go. We don't need to install any apps, we just press the power button followed by the PlayStation button.
It looks nice.
And it will
I'm not gonna lie, it looks kind of nice.
We now have full control and access to the PS5, including the dashboard and all of the installed games. And on first impressions, it's really responsive, like nearly instant as I navigate around the dash. There is no noticeable lag here at all. Now I'm not sure if you've noticed, but the screen on this is really nice and the text clarity is incredible. So it's an 8-inch Full HD LCD, and this thing is sharp, it's vibrant, and it's pretty bright. I've been using it for the last few days, and I'm genuinely impressed by how good it looks for a 1080p screen. I was actually a little worried before seeing it as I knew it wasn't an OLED, but seriously, this is nice and probably one of the best non-OLED screens I've ever used. Also, the fact that it's a glossy screen means the colours really pop and there's no loss in contrast or black levels, but it does mean it's prone to reflections depending on where you're using it. And as for the screen size, from a gaming point of view, I think 8 inches is the perfect size. It's not too small that you won't get any enjoyment from it, but it's not too big that it's a pain to hold. But just for reference, here it is compared to a few of the others.
Damn,
Switch,
son.
ROG Ally,
Money,
and the
money,
Logitech
money
G.
is all you need. He got all the joints. He got the Switch. I think one of these is a GOG or the Alien. Wasn't there a GOG Galaxy, Alienware, Steam Deck, and then the Metabone joint at the bottom? Okay, I get it. You got money.
Cloud are 7 inches.
Damn.
While the iPhone inside the backbone
YouTube millionaire ass boy.
So the entire purpose of the PlayStation Portal
please tell me
is to
how
allow
it
you to
is.
play your PS5 away from your setup. You will need a PS5 and it needs to be either on or in rest mode for this to be connected. So from my testing over the last few days, as long as you have a strong enough Wi-Fi connection, the signal never drops. Sometimes it stutters or the sound pops in and out, but that's something that we've always seen when using the PS Remote app. Although to be honest, this appears to be a little bit more reliable. So I have been using it to play games like Ratchet & Clank, Gran Turismo 7, Spider-Man 2, and some Astro's Playroom.
Yeah, that's all I want to know.
Every game that I've played has been decent. It's exactly what I wanted to get from the Portal, and it is a massive step up from using something like the Backbone 1 adapter on my iPhone. This feels far more balanced and a lot easier to hold. On top of that, as this uses the DualSense controller, we get the same awesome features we get on the normal controller. Things like haptic feedback and adaptive triggers, which let's face it are the best features of any controller out there. So as I'm playing GT7, I can feel the throttle response as I accelerate, or playing Astro's Playroom, I can feel the resistance and rumble as I walk around. I don't think any other handheld can replicate or come close to this experience. As for what games work on here, well, anything that's installed on your PS5 will play, so all downloaded games or the current disc that you have inserted, these will all play absolutely fine. But there was another feature that I really wanted to check out and I kind of hoped would work, and that is cloud gaming. If you're on PS Plus Premium, well, you can now stream your games to the PS5 without ever needing to download them. Unfortunately though, these do not work when using Remote Play. I did kind of expect this, but you're shown an error message when you access the cloud streaming, and quite simply, they just will not play. Maybe the Portal will allow us to stream these games directly in the future, something that I'm secretly hoping for. And if it does do that, this will be an absolute game changer for this device. So now I suppose you might think, what's the point of having one of these if you've already got a PS5 and it needs to be on? Well, there might be times where you don't want to or you cannot use your setup. Maybe your family is using it or you just don't fancy sitting at your desk.
I just want to lay on the couch,
pick it up and resume whatever games you're playing and have full control over the PS5.
Yeah.
You could play your games in different...
The purpose of this thing is literally laying on the couch, changing the input to watch something on Netflix, and then passively playing video games while I watch anime or listen to a podcast or watch a YouTube video or watch a new episode of a TV show that I'm like halfway interested in. Or maybe someone's watching something on the TV and you want to do something. I don't know. I got like, there's a TV in every room in my house. I wouldn't have to just sit there and wait, I guess. I don't know. It depends. Everybody's got a different type of situation. But yeah, okay, that's just my thought process.
Rooms around the house, or even in front of the TV while you watch a movie.
To
be honest, the possibilities really are endless.
That's the point.
Well, hopefully by now it should be clear that the Portal is not a standalone games console. No games are actually ever stored locally on this device. Everything you do and play on here is a direct mirror of what you see on the PS5. It's then streamed to this device in up to 60 FPS. What this does mean is you cannot play both the PS5 and the Portal on different games at the same time, and you also cannot use this device as a second controller on the PS5. You kind of want to treat this as a second monitor for your setup that's portable. Oh, and another point worth covering is there is no touchpad on this. So there isn't a physical touchpad like we have on the DualSense controller. So what they've done is they've actually added one on the screen instead. So all you have to do is tap the screen and you see these two boxes appear either side. This will then let you interact with these with any games that support it. I also think that the ergonomics and the way that it feels in the hand should not be overlooked. I've played with far too many handheld consoles that after a few hours they cramp up my hands, whereas this is no different to the DualSense controller and it's incredibly comfortable to hold. It also feels pretty well balanced in there.
Sorry, we're gonna skip the comfort. It feels like the controller. Let's jump to input delay. I don't want to have to make y'all sit through this whole thing. I feel like there's only a few important parts we really want to see.
So when it comes to the lag or the response time on this, it is very impressive. Obviously this is dependent on your Wi-Fi connection, but on the whole it looks really good. Navigating around the dash and playing most games, you can see it's only a fraction of a second behind the TV. I actually went ahead and played some GT7 with the timer on screen just so I could see the delay. Now looking at it, you cannot really see the difference, but it's only when I freeze the shots that you can see it's out very slightly. Now to be honest, this is pretty quick to say we are streaming this from the PS5 to this screen.
82
However,
millisecond
as soon as you play
delay.
anything that requires that instant response, like Call of Duty for example, you might find this a lot more difficult. You can't see the difference, but you can feel it. I mean, it only has to be a fraction of a second out, and it's a difference between making or missing that shot. I played a couple of games of the new Modern Warfare 3, and honestly, I just gave up. However, for any other game you want to play, you would be absolutely fine and would not notice the lag.
Sonic, a real
So
game,
it works
not
at
no
home
Call of
while on
Duty.
the same network, but what about away from your home? Well, it obviously needs an internet connection at all times to work.
Dang, bro, you over here? Stop! Hey, stop! They over here giving away the Wi-Fi password.
An internet connection, you can remote play back to the PS5. This means you could use your mobile hotspot, a public Wi-Fi, or use it at work. Imagine being away from home over the holiday period, but still be able to play on your PS5.
But
that is pretty cool.
But
obviously,
no,
this is dependent on your own internet speeds, but the fact is, it's not restricted to just using it at home. PlayStation themselves recommend at least a 5 meg connection, with 15 meg being the recommended. My mobile hotspot when I tested it was running at 15 up and 3 down, and my home wired connection is 50 up and 14 down. So it's not super fast, but it's fine for this.
That's his home wired connection? Bro, that's no disrespect. Those aren't even great numbers. Like I get a gig up and down at my house, which, you know, I'm in a decent area. Even here in my office, I get 35 up and I get 600 download, but I pay like stupid numbers for the weird. My home internet is only $75. My internet in my office, because it's a, what do they call that? It's not a residential. It's a business line. It's like $150 for worse internet. To be an adult. Okay.
Now the first couple of times I tried to connect using my mobile hotspot, it did fail to load, but to be honest, that's down to the connection strength rather than the device. I also noticed that occasionally I got a weak signal message pop up, which only happened while I was using the mobile hotspot. So I would say if you needed to use this away from home, you would want to use at least 15 meg in order to get an enjoyable experience. So as long as your PS5 is either on or in rest mode, the PlayStation Portal can switch it on remotely. All you do is...
But what if you burn down your house when you're gone? Like, that's not cool. Who wants to leave their PlayStation on all that time? Well, then again, I will speak to my own personal doings. I have left my PC at home on for more than 24 hours, streaming IRL, and it didn't really do anything. It didn't mess anything up, but like... PCs have fans that cool better compared to this PlayStation 5, right? I don't know. That's just my opinion. Let's see what happens.
Turn it on and then press the PlayStation button to log in. If your console is on already, it will connect within a matter of seconds. Otherwise, it will wake it from rest mode and take about a minute. Now, if your PS5 is completely off though, it will not be able to wake it. Then once you finish playing, you can either turn off the portal, turn off the PS5, or tap the settings and press disconnect. This is the best way to do it because you can decide whether to put your PS5 into rest mode or not.
Okay.
And if you turn the portal off without leaving the PS5 or shutting it down properly, your PS5 will remain on until it naturally goes into rest mode. As for the heat or fan noise from this, it's safe to say there are no issues. It does get warm to the touch, but nothing to be concerned with. And I've not heard any fan noises at all during the last few days. But it's not like the portal is doing any of the heavy lifting with the processing, so that doesn't surprise me. So something else I wanted to check out was the media tab on the PS5.
I don't really care about
things like Netflix, YouTube, and the new Sony Core Picture app. Unfortunately, from my testing, none of these will work as the PS5 doesn't allow remote playing to another screen.
PlayStation like, hey bro, we don't own that. Sorry bro, you're not getting that Netflix account running up and
you couldn't use the portal for anything else other than games. Hopefully we will see an update in the future, as it would be great if you could use this for all of the media consumption, although it's probably not a deal breaker for most of us.
No.
So over the last 4 days that I've been using it, I've already played for about 5 to 6 hours. And during that time, I've charged it once during the setup and not again since. It's still showing me a battery of 1 bar out of the 3 it starts off with. So in theory, I'll maybe get another 2 to 3 hours before needing to charge it. So with that in mind, I reckon this could probably do 6 to 8 hours, and that would be realistic. But it would be nice if we could change the battery symbol at the top into a percentage figure instead. At least then it would take the guessing out of when the next bar is going to drop.
All right, we're skipping this part. Sorry, I can't imagine the battery would last more than like 2 or 3 hours with all the way through. No way. Speakers, user interface, and last but not least, compared to others and worth buying. Let's see the compared to others real quick.
So you might wonder how the PlayStation Portal compares to something like the Backbone 1 controller. Well, this little accessory turns your phone into a mobile gaming device, as it has these buttons and triggers to either side of your screen. Then you just use the PS Remote app to play your PS5 games in the same way as you can today. Yes, this is half the price of the Portal, and you've always got your phone with you, but to be honest, if you were considering something like the Backbone 1 adapter, you would get far more enjoyment out of the Portal. It's got a bigger screen, far better controls, and it feels a lot nicer to hold. Then there's comparing it to other consoles like the Switch, Logitech G Cloud, ROG Ally, and the Steam Deck. I have put it alongside a few of these just to show you the size differences, but to be honest, they are not the same. The Portal is a remote play device just for the PS5, whereas the others are games consoles split into two questions actually. One is, do you need one, and the other one, is it worth £200? Well, for the price, I think it is worth it. I know a lot will say otherwise, but if you feel the Backbone 1 controller is worth £100, which is just an adapter for your phone, this is definitely worth £100 more for a dedicated larger screen and the DualSense capabilities. Also, if they ever open up the Portal to allow direct streaming from the cloud, so you can play your games without the need to connect it to a PS5, this will be a game changer. As for the other question, do you need one? I guess that depends on if you see value in being able to play your PS5 away from your TV. I can see a lot of parents using this while their kids are occupying the TV, or gamers who just want to break from their setup and maybe sit somewhere else in the house. Personally, I think
that's all it is. I just want to sit somewhere different. Honestly, I don't even want to sit somewhere differently. I want to sit on my couch at home that I would be playing on my my PlayStation 5 on, and I just don't want to have to play on the TV. I just want to watch anime. Throw on that Jujutsu Kaisen. Well, actually, I need to read the subtitles on that. Throw on that English dubbed Baki. Yuji no Hanma. Like, throw that on and let me just chill and play.
Great little device if you appreciate what it's designed for. This isn't a handheld games console, it's a PS5 remote play device. And now all we need is a screen protector and a carry case and we're good to go. So tell me...
Dang, ain't no carrying case? Oh, hell no. People gonna break this thing.
You use one of these portals, that's crazy. Or would you prefer to use something else? Now drop a nice portal in there.
All right, shout out to this creator Spawn Point for making this video, because yeah, I don't know. That's all I really needed to see. For me, you know what it is? I would love one if PlayStation would provide it. PlayStation, you didn't call me. What the heck? You called him, but not me? I'm just kidding. But yeah, shout out to PlayStation for providing all those products. And I would love to maybe get my hands on this and give you all my own personal thoughts. I don't know if it would be a full-on long video like this. It probably would be something to the degree of a short video, short form, you know, vertical stuff. Or maybe I'll do a whole video like this, baby. Maybe not. I don't know. All right, well, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and let's end the video. Should we do it with a proper outro, JD? We shall. 3, 2, 1, and outro. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Hit that like button, share, link subscription below, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Hell yeah, boy. Love y'all. Later. Bye-bye.